Nexxlegacy.
A lot of memories and a lot of history on Branded After Dark. I am Sweet Aaron. I am branded alongside I am Sweet Aaron tonight. I'm just already fumbling my words and doing what I'm doing tonight.
I know.
But you know what? Tonight is the show where I just feel like I'm Sweet Aaron. How you doing, dear? Are you good?
You good?
Okay, perfect.
We're the moon. Yeah, I'm with you.
well, it's about to be even better because I'm about to introduce the world to a man that I have. You know, it was like he was my second dad in a lot of ways, and I was able to just not just watch his career, but to be able to enjoy just his acting talents and just everything that he embodied as far as hard work and determination and longevity. Because when you talk Alan Thicke, you talk legacy, longevity, and I am honored and privileged to have Mr. Alan Thicke on Branded After Dark tonight. Hello, sir.
Well, hello, thank you. That was a wonderful introduction, and I appreciate that you read it just about the way I wrote it.
You know, as a writer and an actor and a music composer, hey, you know what? Hey, it speaks volumes, Mr. Alan Thicke. How you doing, man? Definitely the best, and we have him back. And thanks for giving me the heads up that you're good to go, Mr. Alan Thicke.
Well, I think I will probably hit a couple of dead spots on this freeway, but I'm not driving, so I don't care.
There you go. There you go. And Mr. Alan Thicke is brought to us by AlanThicke.com. Make sure you check out his website for all things Alan Thicke and follow him on Twitter at Alan, ALAN _Thicke, THICKE on Twitter, where he tweets a lot more than you would think. So I'm just glad you're here, man. I like as a fan first. I got to tell you that I am very, very, very inspired and proud of just your accomplishments that you have over the course of your career. So I gotta commend you for the hard work and the effort. First off, sir.
Well, thank you. If you live long enough, you get to do a lot of stuff. That's kind of the definition of icon these days. Is just, as you pointed out, longevity.
Absolutely.
Just stay in the game until they blow the whistle.
Indeed. And I want to start a little bit different, Mr. Alan Thicke, and I want to talk about the books that you do have, which is available on Amazon. People can actually go check it out. And just, your book, and I actually ordered one today, didn't have a chance to read it thoroughly. I bought How to Raise Kids Who Won't Hate You, and I'm definitely getting ready to order How Men Have Babies as well. But, I mean, I got to say, you as an author and reading some excerpts, what inspired you to actually just come out with these books for us as not just dads, but people that's actually getting ready to be a dad or just people that just want to know in general?
Yeah, mostly I was inspired by royalties and residuals. And once they told me about that, I said, sure, I can come up with a book. Why not? The truth is that they come to you, publishers come to you and they want you to do a kiss and tell book, and whether it's about growing pains or your family. And I wasn't too comfortable with that. Not that I'm not a great kisser, but and I'm a good teller, but I didn't want to put those together on paper, So I waited to find a niche that I thought made sense, and because of growing pains and that reputation or that image, it made sense to write something about parenting. And what I did, the philosophy there was to get some experts who actually know what they're talking about, and then quote them a lot, and get some input and advice, and then spin that with my own personal anecdotes.
I can't wait to read it, and it's available, people. You can get both books, How to Raise Kids Who Won't Hate You, and also How Men Have Babies as well. You can, and I like the How Men Have Babies, the Pregnant Father's Survival Guide. I can't wait to be able to take a look at that, and it's good reading, I'm sure. I definitely can't wait to to get into it. But let me also ask you this, Alan. We all know you, favorite television dad, and I said at the start the show that I felt like you was always my second dad, and it's just like, different. You helped raise a lot of kids in a lot of households throughout your career, and I'm pretty sure you've gotten that a lot as far as conversation throughout your lifetime so far, right?
Well, yeah, and I like to be the second dad because it's the first dad has to pay for everything. So the second dad is. We just come along. We go to the ball game. It's an easy job.
Marlon, what's up? Oh my gosh, my stomach is still in my throat. How are you, Mr. Thicke? This is amazing to me. I'm almost speechless. I grew up watching you, and I felt like you were my dad. I mean, I wanted you to be my dad.
Well, thank you.
Amazing,
but,
amazing.
I would have been happy to spank you, I'm sure, but I had my hands full with Kirk, and there's a lot of discipline we had to go through there.
Right. I honestly, I promised. Well, I didn't really promise not to say this, but I don't think it would have been a good look because I too was in love with Kirk Cameron, back in the day. But I mean, you were the coolest dad ever, and I would really enjoy to be your daughter now because I would love to be treated like a princess.
Well, I appreciate that thought, and yes, Kirk has gone on to great heights, and he's got about 6 kids of his own now. So
absolutely,
he's about due for a second dad himself.
There you go. There you go. Now, Alan, we've had these TV dads, and I have to ask you because you've been in the business of entertaining all of us through decades now, and a lot of memories that we always have is with Growing Pains and a lot of what you've done throughout your career. So when you look at entertainment now and in your own eyes and your own perspective, not just situation comedy and things like that, I know we're missing our TV dads. I really do personally, but I mean, what is your overall opinion about just the situation comedy aspect and just the entertainers that's entertaining now in 2013?
Well, I think that television, for instance, is better than ever, and it's also worse than ever. You have so many networks now, and so many shows, and so many options that we see some real hardcore crap. But you also see genius. There are some brilliant new shows, both dramatically and comedically, and new voices and new approaches. And I think it's a very exciting time to be in television. And as far as music is concerned, I think the beats that we're hearing now are better than they've ever been. The technology helps contribute to that. The digital technology and the fact that there's so many creative people playing with rhythm tracks, bass drum combinations that are fun to bounce to. I don't think that we're necessarily in a period of evolution where the lyrics or the melodies are any better, but the beats and the sound and the feel are definitely better. So there's always something to be said for the evolution of the species and for the entertainment business, and I think we're doing just fine.
Okay. Alan Thicke is our guest on Branded After Dark, and you brought up music, and of course, you have a heavy hand in a lot of stuff that went on musically, as far as just you composing, being a part of just the theme for The Facts of Life, for Different Strokes, for Wheel of Fortune, for Joker's Wild. I mean, I can go on and on and on, and kind of let the listeners know. But I mean, what was music always a passion of yours while you were entering this business?
Well, it was. I played in some really lousy fraternity bands in college, and
lousy
then,
meaning good?
After that, when I graduated, and I played in some lousy bands after college. So I had a history of having some fun and playing, rock and roll, but I particularly gifted at it, but I was playing, lousy songs in a mediocre voice to a bunch of horny potheads long before Coldplay was doing it. So I did have a background in music, and I wrote for a number of acts, either R&B acts or country acts during my television writing days. I wrote for Glenn Campbell and Olivia Newton-John, Anne Murray, Mac Davis, Johnny Cash, and then I also wrote for acts like Al Jarreau and the Spinners and Lou Rawls. So I had an interesting kind of cross section between country and R&B going. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I never wrote any big hits for those people. I could have, of course, but I didn't want to spoil them. So I just wrote them some mediocre album fillers, and then of course a generation later we have the incredible talents of Robin Thicke. So I'm just thrilled to be able to sit back and watch him do his thing, and he's certainly raised a family brand and raised our music brand to an art form.
Absolutely. Now, have you gave Mr. Robin Thicke a little bit of your savvy, your know-how, or did he just have that, instilled? Of course, you're gonna take all the credit because that's your son. So, as far as little tips that you gave him throughout his journey, does Robin Thicke have a little bit of Alan Thicke savvy when he's not just on stage, but writing or making his own music as well?
Well, his kind of talent skips a generation, so I can't claim to have contributed too much to his musical chops. But I think the most important contribution I made was I taught him how to fill out the publisher forms.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I taught him percentages.
There you go.
God, I love him.
But his R&B chops are amazing, and he's stuck to his vision of the music that he was hearing and feeling, a decade ago, and now the world has discovered him. So, but no, his father should have been Barry White, not Very White.
Oh my goodness. Skipping a generation, Mr. Alan Thicke, I don't know, man. You have talent yourself. I mean, again, there's with so many people. Just of course, people can actually go check out Alan Thicke's website. Go to www.alanthicke.com. Check out all things that is Alan Thicke, from the books, just to kind of catch up with him, and also again hit him on Twitter at Alan_Thicke. Tweet away, people. Tweet away. This is definitely a personal night and a night where a lot of fans are actually checking you out from different parts of the country. So is this still surreal for people to actually, so many people in Germany and Australia and Japan, just tweeting and social media right now, just hearing your voice and still get the vibes that they had back in the 80s or something like that. Is it a surreal feeling sometimes when you?
Well, yeah,
think about that?
It's flattering. It's flattering that they remember, and it's even more flattering when they discover something new that you're doing. If they appreciate anything that's going on now, that's always gratifying. So, and I do enjoy the social media. I'm fairly new at it. A couple of months ago, I wouldn't have known a tweet from a twerk. I'm catching up.
So Twitter, as you've mastered Twitter, obviously, just from some of the things that I've seen and posts and things like that. So you've done that. What's some of the most difficult things, I guess you could say, or just some things you just really don't want to deal with when it comes to social media?
I just, the only thing that I've never quite understood is when people send you some hater message. I don't understand why you would bother following somebody you don't like. I mean, it's like putting your ass on a cold toilet seat or something. Why would you bother if you know that's going to happen? Just go to a warm one. Go someplace you're happy. Well, go someplace you like. following people you know. So that's always amused me. I mean, I'm happy to say I have some delightful followers, and I get mostly love and funny messages and warmth and humor. But every once in a while, somebody will break through with some total hater line, and you think, why did you even bother? Follow somebody you like, maybe like Sitcom.
Right. How much fun was it for you to do the whole wife swap with Gilbert Godfrey? Was that fun for you?
It was fun for me. You know, I've known Gilbert forever, and he was on my failed talk show many years ago. So he's always been amusing to me, and he and his wife were quite delightful.
That was awesome because I loved it. I loved it. I honestly loved it.
Thank you. It was our first kind of experiment with reality television, and we're now doing. I'm doing a series, an entire series of comedy reality. It's not really a reality show. It's real people. It's me and the wife and my teenage son, and with occasional appearances by the rest of the family. But it's not just cameras following us around. It's reality, real people in sitcom stories. So it's kind of an interesting, unusual, unique hybrid, and we'll see if people like it. And if they don't like it, I'm sure that I'll hear from that Twitter hater.
Yeah, that one Twitter hater, right? Yeah, Alan Thicke is our guest on Branded After Dark, and you mentioned reality shows, and actually just this one that you're talking about that you're setting up as far as the comedy. Are you actually getting it on like YouTube, or where's that going to be aired?
Oh no, this will be on a network. It's a co-production with Canada. That's who we're making it with, and then it'll be on a network down here starting in April.
Very good. Now, how do you feel about certain reality shows in general, like the stuff that you actually have seen that you either like or not like? I mean, what's your opinions about the dominance of reality shows?
Well, they're here to stay. I personally like the ones that aim for warmth and amusement, like Duck Dynasty, for instance. And I know I see the appeal and the interest in some of the shows, like the housewife shows, where everybody gets mad at everybody else, and then you throw wine and tip over their table and pull their nose hairs and sleep with their husband or whatever.
Right.
That just wasn't a convenient, not a comfortable format for me, and that's why I kind of stayed away from it until they would buy a notion that was intended to be warm and funny, and that's what we're aiming for.
Perfect. Looking forward to seeing that.
Out of all the hats that you wear, if you had to choose between acting, between writing music, between directing, or authoring books, and you could only do one, what would you choose? Because you've done everything there is.
Yeah, I think I would probably just eat Haagen-Dazs all day. I mean, that's I've had so much fun with the variety of my career. I mean, you exactly touched on it. If I ever could have been exceptional or fabulous at one thing, I would have done that. If I could have been as funny as Chris Rock, or as dramatic as Leonardo DiCaprio, or as musical as Robin Thicke, I would have done that. But instead, I was kind of a master of B talents. I used to call myself a fast food renaissance man. I could do a bunch of stuff and have a lot of fun with it, and that turned out to be the reward of my career.
Well, one thing that we all know and love you for was your contributions to Growing Pains, and I know we touched on it earlier. And I know the last television reunion that you guys had was in 2004. And I want to say Good Morning America back in 2011 was when, the last public. Just talk to the listeners a little bit about just how that has transcended to become not just pop culture, but, just a standard set with many other shows that will withstand the test of time, because it was just that feeling in that household of not just family, but also we were able to see you guys have such chemistry that will never be duplicated.
Well, you're absolutely right that that's what makes a show like that work. It requires fortuitous casting and chemistry, along with the writing that has to be of somebody's singular vision. So all of those things have to come together to make for a successful show. And we did have legitimate chemistry. In fact, it carries on to this day. Only a couple of weeks ago, we had a barbecue out at my ranch for the cast, and to come and bring all their kids. So we had a couple of dozen between the Growing Pains children and their children.
Right.
We had a pretty big crowd, so it was a lot of fun. We spent the day swimming and eating and gossiping, and then this very weekend, in fact, on Saturday, I am honored to be inducted into the Canadian Walk of Fame, and
all right.
And my presenter on the television special that covers this will be Joanna Kearns.
All right.
Yeah. So we were nicely, successfully TV married for 7 years, and of course we raised 4 children on TV through grade school and high school and right on to syndication.
When you talk about 7 years of Growing Pains and what's that, 166 shows, if memory serves me correct, out of all the shows, out of the shows that you've done, is there a handful that just stands out as shows that, you know what, I think about it not just every day, but, you know, it's just one of my all-time favorites, be it if it was some things that happened behind the scenes or, you know, just some on-camera things that just, you know, just moved you in a certain way?
Well, it's fun to think back and look back on episodes that featured some people who went on to become big stars. You know, sometimes you recognized their special qualities when they were on the set, and sometimes they just popped out years later. But Growing Pains was a popular show, and therefore every child actor in Hollywood was trying to get on it. Every agent wanted his client to be on the show, and we had people like Brad Pitt, Matthew Perry, Heather Graham, Hilary Swank, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brian Austin Green, even Robin was on it for a couple of episodes as a kid.
Right.
So we had, it's fun to look back and see the ones who took off and made it, and you know, you can always tell when they're 14 or 15 and they're on the set, you can tell which ones are the nice kids that you're going to be rooting for, and which ones are the bratty little turds.
The ones really like, oh, okay, I got to deal with you today. Oh my goodness, this is going to be this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. But I got to say, it's very rare to see when you have such chemistry, be it on set, not just situation comedies, it could be movies, it could be whatever, and just being able to just, you know, harness that into something long lasting. I mean, it's just like I said earlier, Alan. There's a lot of stuff that you guys have done that people can try to duplicate it, but it's not going to actually be, because, you know, the one thing that's missing is not just talent, but chemistry. Because when you have that with certain people, that's important when you're acting and bouncing off one another, right?
Oh yeah, that's really important, and it makes acting easier because you don't have to just think about your own lines. If somebody's giving it back to you in a way that makes sense and feels real and organic, it becomes easier to remember scripts.
Absolutely. And a couple of quick questions before we let Mr. Alan Thicke go, and he is our guest on Branded After Dark. You can go to alanthicke.com. You can follow him on Twitter at Alan_Thicke. And do that right now, people. Not just now, but do it right now. Follow. And up-and-coming actors and actresses and directors and producers and people out there that's trying to make a name for themselves. I know a lot of people, Alan, they're going to the YouTubes, they're going to Hulu, they're going to do a lot of different things online now. Do you see that as an evolution of it? People are moving away from I guess you could say mainstream television to online and doing things of that nature there now?
Well, there's certainly many different ways to watch television and film and listen to music. And there's also, that means there are many different ways to break into the business. So both as a consumer or as a talent, it becomes easier for you now to get an audience, at least to get some attention. You still really, to have a serious career or make some money and pay the bills, you still need to reach a larger mainstream audience. So I don't see that going away, but there are different networks and different distribution systems now that can reach a mainstream audience. So I think it's good for everybody.
Amen.
I have kind of I don't even know what kind of question this would be, but like I've always wondered, like when you're Alan Thicke and you're going shopping or going to the post office, or I mean, do you have to wear a disguise? Like, are there like 900 people running up to you every 10 seconds, wanting to take pictures and things like that? Like, do you have to have an entourage?
It's true. Whenever I go out, I disguise myself as George Clooney.
Yeah.
Just so people won't bother me. People, there are. I know that there are some actors whose image is like maybe a bad guy, gangsters and tough guys, and they don't get the same kind of warmth. I mean, people actually respond to them out in public as their characters. So, bad guys don't have it as easy. When you're just when you're an innocuous, fun-loving sweetheart of a TV dad, people are generally kind and pleasant. So it's fun to meet them.
That's wonderful.
And Alan Thicke has an entourage. I
love you more than I do, but I do.
Alan Thicke has an entourage. People. He has an entourage. He has a group of people that follows him every single. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I have a small entourage of heavily armed snipers.
In closing,
I take the Navy SEALs with me wherever I go.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
The real entourage guy would be Robin. Robin now has 4 bodyguards to keep away the same girls I used to pay guys to go find.
You know what, Mr. Alan Thicke, I'm looking forward to seeing just some of the things you have on the horizon. I'm just looking forward to just a lot of new things that you do have. And thank you for inspiring us, not just us media folks, but also inspiring actors, actresses, producers, writers, all that good stuff, because, again, a lot of people would love to be or to have the position that you've had throughout your years of being a part of a lot of iconic things. So it's big for us media folks, but it's also big for the listeners just to be able to hear you just talk and just you're one of the regular nice guys, and it's good to be able to say, hey, you know what, I had dialogue with one of the greatest to do it, and I humbly thank you, sir.
That's very kind of you. I appreciate the kind words, and keep up the good work, and we'll keep our eye on each other, and maybe get a couple Twitter followers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very, 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 very much. You have no idea what this has meant to me and what you've meant to me throughout, my life, and watching, growing up with you. I mean, this is unreal to me right now, but thank you so very much for everything you've done.
Thank you for saying that, and thank you for having me. So keep on keeping on, and our paths will cross somewhere.
Absolutely, and we're following you on Twitter as well, so we're definitely going to make sure we create a lot of traffic throughout our radio career, and as long as you're on Twitter, we're going to keep supporting you and showing a ton of love, all right?
All right, thank you so much.
I appreciate it. That is Alan Thicke.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
On Branded After Dark. That is
Nexxlegacy.